What up? What up? What up? It's Ibn Webb, Ib Webb, Karana Sum here. Official Thanks thing I got going on here. Essex County All Day Edition here. Taking this one to where I'm from, City of Orange, Orange High School. Mike Scott. It's one of those names I heard as a youngin', you know what I mean, as far as just great guy, did his thing athletically, what have you here. So this is an honor. This is a complete honor just to have him on here. Like I said, just the little kid in me may come out, but hey, that's been happening the whole time I've been doing this. So just sit back and get Mike on and we're just gonna rock from there. Hold tight. I think we somewhere now. Mike, what's up, man?
Yeah, how you doing, man?
Good. Thank you for doing this, man. It looked like you might have had to sneak out in the whip to do it too. So
yeah, always something, man. Always something, man. Now with your grandfather, so that keeps you running a little bit. So.
Yeah. Thank you for doing this. Like I said, I know we spoke and I appreciate this. Like I shared with you, this is something I've just been doing for the last couple of years or so, and it's just been a joy. And to have you on, like I said, pardon me if the little kid in me may come out during this, but like I said, I just always remember just hearing your name and everything, just being that young in Orange, whether I was at Cleveland Street or the middle school, what have you here, man. So I appreciate you taking a few minutes out your time from the grandfather duties.
I appreciate it, man.
Cool. How you doing, family? Everybody's good?
Yeah, everybody's good, man. Just saw my mom, she's doing all right. Sister and everybody came up. Sister's birthday the day before mine, so we kind of got together. I chose my nieces and nephews and everything, and everybody's doing all right.
Nah, good. Now, are you still in Jersey these days?
Yeah, I'm still in Jersey. I'm in Orange.
Okay. Now, yep. Speaking of Orange, were you born in Orange or were you born elsewhere?
Well, I was born in Newark, actually.
Okay.
And then, a little further back, my mother was pregnant with me while I came back from North Carolina, actually. So my sister was born in North Carolina. I was born here in Newark, and then moved to Orange, but I went to East Orange school system. I went to Kentop, went to Stockton, then fourth grade, I came over to Orange.
Okay.
I went to Haywood.
He's over at Haywood.
Yeah.
How's your childhood? I know everybody's childhood, everybody's gonna say it was normal, but what was your normal? What was it like? What you get into?
When I was a child, man, I fell in love with doing group activities, like, sports. I was a Boy Scout, Troop 11, Mr. Webster.
Yeah.
Parks, Metcalf, Central Playground, Orange Park. Just being around, just playing basketball all the time, or whatever I get into. Any sport I can get into, football, baseball. I started off playing Little League Baseball first. That was my first sport.
Now, as a kid, I played over at Metcalf, the Little League in Metcalf. Where did you play?
I played at Metcalf. I played in Little League. I played for when I was little, I played for OIA. I went to OCC and Unico.
OCC, wow, yep, I remember the names there.
And back then we had a monster league, man. I always say that the guys who we had back then, we could have put together a team to compete in like the World Series. How they play in Hawaii and Puerto Rico and all that stuff. The guys on some of those teams, they took 2 or 3 from each teams. We could have competed. I mean, outside of Jersey and United States, these guys were good as little kids, man. So yeah, that was an experience I'll always remember.
Nah, I remember definitely being down there, and I know for us lefties here, they had the gate kind of high in right field to get we hit some shots we think is going over, but that left field fence was pretty short, so I don't know how much damage you did with that one.
Well, right field, I'm a lefty also, so if you hit a home run, it counted as a double. Unless it goes past the pole, which is like almost right center.
Okay.
But sometimes I got to pass the pole, it was a home run, but most of the time it was a double.
Yeah.
Guys back then, Lee Pope, those guys hitting the smokestack. You remember the smoke? There was a smokestack behind the left field gate.
Left field, yeah. A few people they sent it out there, on the regular.
As little kids, man, like you look back, as little kids we were doing it. But I went to a Little League game maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. It just wasn't the same. It wasn't the same.
Nah.
I'm talking about we hit home runs every game almost, and these guys are kind of. It was just different. It's different, slower. It's different.
Just me coming all the way from Dodgetown, having to ride my bike cross town down there. I know on Valley Street. I don't know if it was there when you was there. They had, I can't think of the corner store, but it was about a few blocks from Metcalf. Man, my thing was always get this egg and cheese sandwich.
Yeah, well, they had the Family Deli.
Okay, yeah, it might have been that, right? It was on the corner. It was one of the corners a few blocks down from Metcalf.
Yeah, Family Deli, and that's they had a baseball team back then in the league. And then there was one right across the street, right over the left field gate, right over the center field gate. There was one where you could get the Brookdale sodas and redeem your bottle for a quarter or something like that. Yeah, get a little sandwich. Yeah, those are good days, man.
Now even with the baseball, like football, basketball, did you start playing recreational or for teams back then too?
Well, yeah, I tried to play with the Orange Elks back then. But I missed the registration. My uncle, he walked me around there, and I think coach was Milligan, Mr. Milligan, or I think it was Mr. Milligan. We walked out there. They'd already started practicing. They'd already been through their sessions and everything. So it was kind of late for me. So I didn't play with the Elks, but then I played with the Buccaneers. We had the Orange Buccaneers. And we practiced at Orange Park, right on Central Avenue. Coach Williams, and that's when I really started playing football. I started out as a wide receiver.
Okay.
And I was the biggest guy on the team, so they moved me to tight end. And I did not like it. I hated it at first. But then I saw a game with Kellen Winslow. And then I kind of embraced it then. I was like, oh, wow, that's a nice position. And, just started, trying to emulate him and do it like he did it. But, yeah, it wasn't until me watching him to, really, because I didn't know what a tight end was. I just, wide receiver. I'm a receiver. So, played tight end, fell in love with it, and that's where it started. Buccaneers.
Now, how about with hoops? Did you do anything as far as any leagues or anything?
Yeah. Well, I started playing really in middle school.
Okay.
We had the middle school league. We played other middle schools like intramural stuff like that. We were the Bison, so we had a little team. And then really it was just playgrounds until I got to high school. Yeah. And high school is when I really started, taking basketball serious.
Now, are you the only sibling, or you have?
I have a sister. She's 2 years older than I am.
Okay.
Yeah, 6 years. Yeah.
Now, even with the whole high school thing here, I mean, it was no doubt as far as you going to Orange High, wasn't any ifs, ands, or buts, or were you contemplating something else back then, or what?
My mother was trying to persuade me to go to Essex County.
Yeah.
So, but I wanted to go to Orange. I was, living in Orange, from Orange, came, when I was in 4th grade. So that's where I wanted to go. I went to a football game, and the way they came out, they had the orange pants, the thick black stripe, and so that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to go to Orange. But if she had it her way, I would have been I would have gone to Essex County.
Yeah. Now you got to high school. Were you any of those sports? Was you playing varsity immediately, or you had to pay your dues?
Well, I played all 3 sports in high school, but I had to pay some dues. But actually, they picked. I think it was 3 of us. We were in the 8th grade.
Okay.
And we played freshman baseball.
They allowed you to. Oh, okay.
Yeah, which never happens, But football, at the end of the school year at middle school, coaches told me I was going to camp, varsity camp and everything. And I was fine with it. I was cool with it. I wanted to, the challenge. But when I got there, it was the big freshman. I was 6'3", probably one of the biggest guys on the team. I was a freshman. So everybody had to take their licks. Everybody had to, initiate me and all that stuff. And we weren't winning. And then the freshman team was winning. Okay. So I kind of wanted to play with my peers because I didn't want the, like hitting after the whistle and all that type of stuff. I mean, football is football, but we're teammates, what I mean? And I wanted to play on the team where, we had that cohesion, and the freshman team had it. I was a freshman. So maybe mid-season, I went to the freshman and finished the season off with freshman. Basketball, my freshman year, I couldn't play until playoffs. They wouldn't let me play until playoffs. So when we got to the playoffs, I remember we played West Orange, and I think we played, I forget who else we played. We played West Orange, that's where I got my feet wet. I had 14 points off the bench as a freshman. They had Scott Bottle, they had Kyle Dotson, and all those guys. So yeah, and I was 6'3" as a freshman, so I thought I was gonna be, I played the post, so I thought I was gonna grow into, post player. And but that's how it started. And baseball, played freshman baseball. Never played JV sports. It was always varsity. So yeah.
Now with the with basketball, I'll circle back to the other, but with basketball here, Orange is, got that tradition here. You talking the Reg Millers, the Rob Coles, if you go back to everybody else, the Buttses and everybody else here, man. So it had to just be for you to just be out there playing, varsity, dropping some buckets. It had to be something.
Yeah, it was a good feeling, man. And then sophomore year, that's when I really, got into the groove in football and basketball. Sophomore year, I started played tight end. And then basketball, I got a lot of run. I think I started a couple of games. I think some guys got hurt. But yeah, sophomore. But I always, my sophomore year, I played behind Theo Hill Jr. And Reg. So I was trying to buy my time and, get the ball when I could and, do it that way. But sophomore year playing football was, it was on go.
Now, who was the quarterback back then when you were playing?
Mike DeLon.
Okay.
My junior sophomore year, Mike DeLon. But before Mike, played with Steve Irvin and Brother Gerard, Jerry Long, those guys. So we had some good talent.
Yeah, just even with the football here, I'm kind of yo-yoing, but even with the football though, I mean, record-wise, sometimes it didn't always come out as far as on the winning side, but the athletes just even playing football. I don't know. What do you think it was here? Even when they had a breakthrough when I was around, but I mean back then, as far as what do you think it was? Like, what do you think it was coaching back then, or what do you think it was football-wise?
It might have been a little coaching, but it was. I think if we had all our best guys on the field at the same time, we would have done better. In my experience, it was next man up. So if I'm a second string person who should be starting, but there's another guy who may be a senior, whatever, put me somewhere else where I could be effective and not make me wait another year to get into that spot. So I think it was a next man up kind of mentality. And I think if we would have just played the best guys, I think we would have fared a little better than we did. We struggled. We lost a lot of games that we should have won. Like we had a lot of 1-pointers and interception for touchdown type stuff, and we lost a lot of close games. So I think the best guys on the field, we'd have fared better. So I think that might have been a little coaching, might have been a little primitive in the play calling and sit-ups and everything. But yeah, I think if the best guys were out there, I think everybody else who beat us probably did that.
Yeah, and sometimes I think folks don't realize, even with Orange, though a smaller township city, what have you, there, some of those social economics kick in. Like just getting to school is a challenge in itself. For some people, even when looking back at it, is just kind of like it was such a challenge just to make it to school. So imagine even taking an extra mile, playing a sport or having to play, then you playing 2 games. Next thing you know, that kid disappears because it's some stuff that he can't control. So that was always, just looking back as an adult, you think about, wow, like a lot of that probably went down too.
Yeah, I think that happened a lot. I know some of my friends, they worked and had to contribute and, fend for themselves a little bit sometimes, But I think if those things weren't in place, we would have, had a lot more athletes on the fields. And then some guys got into other things, some of the best players, 1 or 2 may have done different things. But some of the coaches we played for, it was tough, They were good coaches, good men, but they wanted something out of you. So if you didn't bring that, if you didn't want to give it to them, then that sport may not have been for you at that time. So yeah,
No, I was gonna say, I didn't want to forget. I probably wouldn't have forgot this, but did y'all beat Scott every Thanksgiving? Did y'all while you was there?
No, we didn't. We didn't beat Scott until the year after I left. I think they beat him in '87.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, and that was, they were a big nemesis, man. I wanted to beat Scott real bad. I think we beat him one year. My name was sophomore year.
Okay.
They beat him once. East Orange, they beat us. Like you said, we're a small school, but we had a lot of heart. We compete. We gave it all we could. But yeah, those guys, man, they brought it. Being coached like Greg Tynes, and stuff like that. It's hard to beat.
Now, the conference back then where you playing, was it still the Big Ten you were still in, or did they transition to the other conference? I forgot
the Northern Hills Skyline Division.
That's like Scott, Wayne, and all of them. Was that those guys? Essex Catholic. Did you wind up playing Essex Catholic while you were at Orange?
Played Essex Catholic, yeah. In football, we played them in basketball, I think my junior and sophomore year. We played them in football, and we lost a wild one to Essex Catholic. I think we should have won that one. I think we should have beat Scott my senior year too. So, but we were in the Northern Hills Conference, Skyline Division, and was really a heavy football kind of baseball conference. So basketball was kind of a breeze for us. Like we were beating just about everybody. So we got to Scotty Starnes. It was a little struggle. But we played like the Passaic Valley, Del Barton, Mars Catholic, Essex Catholic, schools like that. Scott.
Now with the hoops, I know Reg and Cleo eventually had to leave. So once they left, was it just show?
Well, it was. I wanted it to be, but we had a point guard, Troy Jones, who was killing it, man. He was my boy. So we were like a 1-2 punch, man. So it wasn't my team. We were both captains. I was captain all three my senior year actually, but Troy and I were captains, basketball, and we were like a 1-2 punch, like Stockton Malone kind of thing. So but yeah, definitely. I learned from Cleo Hill, Reg Miller, some guys that came before him. So I tried to do what I could. And actually, we had a good squad. We lost to Linden, I think, in the last game of the playoffs, and I think in the last game of the preseason. And the first game of the playoffs, we lost to them.
Oh, so y'all scrimmaged them and y'all wanted to see
them
later.
Scrimmaged them and lost, and we played them, I think the first team in the States, and we lost. So, and I really wanted to get that game because the prior year, my junior year, Reg's senior year, we were ineligible. So grades came out, and there was a player on the team who wasn't supposed to play, but he played in the varsity game. So all those games we had to forfeit and get back. So I really wanted it my senior year. And we lost it. Linden was great. They had Corey Floyd and Sean Worthy and all those guys, Cole Carson. So they had a good time, a good team, good squad. So
how'd y'all do in the counties?
The counties. Well, county, I think North Tech was 17-0 when we played them. And then we beat them. We were their first loss. So we beat North Tech at 17-0. And then Seton Hall Prep had just came from, I think, California and won a tournament. They played the national schedule. So they came back. They had Franz Bolsey, all those guys. And we beat them by like 6-7. Yeah, we played hard. We beat them. And then our next game to get to the championship was against East Orange. And East Orange, they beat us by like 16. I think Travis had about 16. Travis just kept backdooring us, and every time we looked for him, he laying it up. So, and I don't think we kind of practiced for that. So, because they had Bill White, they had Mark Gray, they had those guys. And so Travis was the guy who was the X factor, I think, for that game, and he really killed us. So, yeah. And then we would have played Bloomfield High School had we won. East Orange played Bloomfield. But had we won that game, we'd have played Bloomfield High School. They had Allah after that.
That's what Allah, yeah.
So we were looking forward to that game. So I don't know if we, kind of overlooked some things. But yeah, East Orange, they beat us by double digits. Yeah.
Now, during all this time, the three sports, everything else, when did college start entering your mind? Like, hey, maybe I could take one of these and, move on and play, at the next level.
Right. Well, actually, my freshman year, at the end of the year, end of the season, I got my first letter from Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, well, a freshman, didn't really play, then went back down to the freshman team. And I got a letter from Penn State, another one from Iowa State.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought I was going, Penn State and everything. So later on, I got a letter from University of Miami. So I was really getting in the groove of, I was collecting the letters and, stuff like that. And I thought I was either going to go to Penn State or University of Miami. But,
Mm-hmm.
when it all boiled down, so I was an honor roll student, middle school, up to middle school, got to freshman, got to high school and kind of derailed a little bit. So ended up going to Montclair State.
Mm-hmm.
But I was trying to go to Penn State. That's where I wanted to go.
Yeah. Now, before you got to Montclair State, you had a pit stop. Then you Essex County. You played with Mr. Hill, right?
I played with Coach Hill. Yeah, legendary Coach Hill. Yeah.
How was that?
That was a once in a lifetime experience, man. That was.
I heard he's tough. I heard he was tough.
He was tough, but he was probably one of the funniest men I ever met in my life.
Yeah.
He'll tell you like it is, straightforward. And he always wants to compliment the way he dressed, his suits and his ties and everything.
Okay.
but he was, if you didn't play for him, you did yourself a disservice. Mr. Hill was, and just in life, period, and he lived right around the corner from me.
Okay.
And, I never knew the history that he had until after I played for him.
Really?
Yeah, while I played for him, I was starting to hear little things. But I went to a sporting goods store and guy asked a question and everything. I told him to Essex County. And he was saying, "Oh, Cleo Hill." And then he sat me down in the store. And he told me who you playing for. And I was like, he never spoke on that. Cleo never said anything. Coach Hill never said anything, But it wasn't until after playing for him years later, watching the documentary, the Black Magic.
Black Magic, yeah.
So I told Cleo, I'm going to Essex, I'm going to play, basketball. And all he said was, he's a funny guy. That's all he said. But it took me to go there and experience it to really, understand and, respect, Cleo Hill, because I never really heard much coming out. And I played with Cleo Sr., and never really, knew what I know now, of course, but there's a lot of history, there's a lot of respect there. And he was good. Yeah, he was good. Good coach, good role model. Yeah.
And it's cool for me when I do go back down there, just, take a ride down Center Street. He got, obviously Highland named after him, the street named after him and everything. So that was long overdue, but I'm glad it was finally done.
Yeah, and the gymnasium is
and the Essex County just recently did that too. Another one that should have been done, but it's taken care of now.
Should have been done, yeah.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, basketball is probably one of the, and it was only a year that I was there, but that year, I grew a lot. The stories he tell us, and all the stories about North Carolina and North. Yeah, he was a storyteller. He was a funny guy, but when it was time for business, he did business. Yeah.
Now, did you play at Montclair State?
I played basketball and football there. Yeah.
Oh, you did both.
Yeah.
How was that? I don't care what level. I mean, to do both. I mean, and still try to carry academics. It's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it was tough. But back then I was used to it. I played 3 in high school, so I dropped one, and it seemed like I wasn't doing anything for that part of the year. But football, we had a good team. Definitely was demanding. And basketball, the team, we didn't win that many games, but it was fun. We went on tournaments. We had tournaments in Colorado and things like that. So it was a cool experience. But football was definitely tough. And Coach Giancola was the coach then. And I think he's the coach now. I think he's still there. He might be the longest tenured coach in Jersey. I know he was there years before I got there too. So.
Yeah. That whole NJAC, I mean, is not to be underestimated here. I don't know who was dominant back then. Football, I'll go football first. I know was it Glastonboro back then? Were they good back then too?
Glassboro was good. Everybody was pretty good. King, Team was a little smaller, but
Okay.
they actually, my sophomore year, they beat us.
Mm-hmm.
And we were supposed to have, beaten them going away, but they came to play, and like we were bigger, stronger, and everything. But they found a way to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those guys were good. Jersey City State may not have been Trenton, those things, but yeah, King, Montclair State, yeah, we had a good little conference.
Now in hoops was Mr. Brown down at Jersey City coaching back then? Was he coaching?
I think, yeah, Mark Brown's father, right? Yeah, I think
Yes.
so. Charlie
Okay.
Brown, yeah,
Yes.
I think he was there, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, all this going on, do you know what you're gonna do with the rest of your life because eventually that clock hits all 4 zeros and you got transition. Did you know back then what you was gonna do?
I had no idea, man. I majored in sociology.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I was gonna do something, in social work or something like that. I had no idea. But actually I started working with kids, with youth in 88, I think, 1988.
Okay.
And I've been working with them to the day. So it's been like over 35 years, working with youth, and I like it. I love it actually. And went back to school. I got a master's degree in human services, and currently I'm 3 classes shy of a PhD in human services and nonprofit leadership. So
wow, that's great. I was told to ask about that. I was gonna ask you later, bring that up later, the whole doctorate thing. But I was told by Reg, he needs his invite to the doctoral party. So when that's all said and done, he needs his invitation to that party you're gonna throw once you get that
Absolutely.
Okay, all right,
absolutely. And what happened was I should have finished already, but I caught COVID in 20, and that kind of took me for a loop and everything. I was in hospital for about a week with COVID, and kind of stopped with the studies for a second. But I'll be back in January. I'll finish these 3 classes, man, my dissertation, and I'm done.
That's monster. What you plan on doing when you're done with it?
Absolutely nothing.
you gotta do something. You gonna teach? What we gonna do? You gonna do something?
I don't know, man. I just had another birthday, so I think at this point I just want to hang it on my wall, and circle back to the things that I didn't accomplish in high school, and just come full circle with it, because I should have dedicated that time with education in high school, and I didn't. So for me, just it'll be fulfilling to get it and hang on the wall, and keep my job, keep my position where I'm at now. Not go up or down. Just have my doctorate, because it's just something I want.
Okay.
And may take on more responsibilities at work, actually, just a little bit, but nothing major. And just keep working with the kids, mentoring. I have to get out with Reds more though, because he's all over the place in Orange with these youth doing great things. So definitely want to maybe impact my community a little closer, because I work in Belmead right now, which is like an hour from me.
About to say that's gotta be so okay.
Yeah, that's a little past Bridgewater. So maybe just come back, just kind of impact the community a little bit more. And I ran for city council in 2018 and lost by I think like 96 votes. So that may be something I do again. As well.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was it about you wanting to run for city office?
Just seeing things done that I didn't agree with, and instead of keep talking about it, try to get on the inside and then actually do something about it. And some of the leagues, the recreational leagues, the little leagues, and potholes, or whatever the case is, whatever the city needs, and things like that. I wanted to be a part of the decision-making process with that. And there was no other way for me to do it at that point, but run for city council. I ran for the West Ward in Orange, ran against Harold Johnson. I lost by 90 points, 95 votes, something like that. But that was me getting my feet wet. That was my first time ever doing it. Okay. And so if I do it again, then I'll definitely do it differently and bigger, and I'll definitely know more about politics side and everything. So I'm not a politician. I'm just a person who's from here.
That's right.
To make sure everything is ran right. Especially with the murders and the carjackings and all that type of stuff. And just no place for it. We're too small to have, that many, that amount of problems. So yeah, so maybe, spoke with Monty yesterday. Maybe I'll do something next time.
Okay. What is it? And in regards, how I'm just curious. In regards to even at the councilman level here, how much time consuming was that for you?
Well, running it was a daily grind. Because I was in the West Ward of Orange, so I tried to knock on everyone's door, meet as many people as I could see, meet as many people as I could meet, and just pass out my flyers and get my name out there, answer any questions. Try to address any issues they had immediately, and go from there. Man, it was a great experience, man. But every day after work, I would come home, my team would get together, and we walk. We just knock on doors, man. We just introduce ourselves to people in the community, and had an assistant who took down names and any issues that were concerning them right now, and we just try to address them. I mean, we it could be as little as one young lady had a deaf child and she wanted a sign near her house because she felt that it would cut down with the speeding of vehicles.
Right.
It's like people paying more attention. So those are the type of things that we try to do that at our level, running for council, that we could do. We did complete a few things, man, but there's a lot more to be done, obviously. But that may be something I'll look into again in a couple of years.
Nah, that's great, and it's interesting you share that because just a little bit about me. I'm a full-time college instructor and professor. That's why I even mentioned that. And I do a bunch of other trainings on a variety of different topics. But one of the things I do share in regards to the talking, I talk about the whole voting and doing things, whether it's at a city level, state level, federal level. Sometimes at the city or town level, you see things get done quicker versus at those other state and federal levels where they might drag their feet a little long. You see results faster, and I think sometimes too, though, depending on the town or the city here, things, though they're public, they don't make it publicly known. As far as when these town hall meetings where these things are going on. I mean, because again, some folks, they don't want folks coming in there, voting for something they don't want to get pushed through and everything else is. So I always try to stress locally and town city wise, how important that is to make sure what's going on here, because folks will try to hide it from you right in your own backyard.
Right. It's definitely, it's beneficial to kind of vote in a way that your constituents want you to vote. I mean, sometimes you go out on a limb and you think you may be doing something right, but your constituents are what matter. These are the tenants, these are the homeowners in Orange, and these are the ones who want the results. So yeah, you gotta have conferences and meetings and town halls just to see what the needs are from their perspective, because you may see something totally different. But then come together and try to devise a plan to bring it back to the council meetings and just try to get some things done. And I went to a few council meetings. And the thing that I couldn't understand was how many things were tabled for the next meeting. How many things were tabled for the next meeting that I feel could have been resolved during that meeting, but it was because the voting wasn't right, or we needed one more vote, or this person not voting with us, so we had to talk to this guy. I mean, I don't think that the council meetings should be the forum for that. I think those things should be done, and then at a council meeting, just hammer out the yeas and nays and get these things done. Because meanwhile, we're just wasting time. We might not get back on that topic for another month, 2 months, a year, and we're just wasting time. So just make decisions and make them, and that benefit the city of Orange. And that's what I wanted to do. And that's probably what, I'll try to do again in a couple of years.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's in. My father worked for the city of Orange 30 plus years. So he's in code enforcement. So it was always interesting, even as a kid, I could tell when it was election year, how he moved a little bit, because, who comes in, they might want their own folks, or what have you. So as a kid, I knew what time it was every 4 years, wonder if he gonna have a job or not.
Right. And it's amazing to see that every 4 years, you'll start to see the people coming out, knocking on doors. That was my first time. But you don't see them again for another 3.5 years, almost
afterwards.
4 years.
Yeah.
And that's the part that's troubling, because you need to be on the ground a lot more than that.
Yes.
And just to come out in election time and make promises and don't fulfill them is just, it's crazy to me, man. It's just, we had to find a better way, a better system. We're too small. This is what, 2.2 miles, and we have all these issues. So, I think partly because there aren't, as many decisions that should be made at the council meetings that being made.
Yeah.
And things are tabled and saved for later, and things like everything's pressing. Every topic I think that's brought up should be pressing and voted on, and you move on, and then you got the next set of ordinances or things that you may want to tackle. So yeah,
no, most definitely, and I think even with that being said, here, what do you think about Orange now versus? I just use you growing up here. What's the big difference have you seen in Orange?
Well, big. The hospital's still there, but it's an eyesore. You know what I mean? Like back in the day,
right.
Some of my friends were born there, and it was a thriving, I thought, hospital. We had a hospital in town, but now it's just an eyesore, and it's been an eyesore for 30 plus years, 20 plus years. Home ownership. I think the buildings they're building near the train stations, which are dubbed, able to be low-cost housing or
about like
housing.
Ordo Parkway, like all that around Day Street. I think I saw recently when I was back at the crib, like there by the highway. You talk about 280, the ones.
By the highway, it's like anywhere near a train station that they have an acre of land, they're going to put a building. It seems like, and it's really for the commuters who are commuting to New York or who live in New York, coming over and want to, a little less expensive lifestyle. They're paying so much over there, but some of the people here can't afford it. You know what I mean? So, just better decisions, like that. And I think that Orange could be a thriving city if more decisions are made in a positive way. So,
definitely here. What with sports? I'm just circle the sports real quick. What has it given you that sticks with you to this day?
Sports, it's the companionship with your team, and the ability to strategize and put a plan together, go out, try to execute. The lessons that I was taught from Coach Hill, Thompson, all those guys. I mean, Thompson threw me out of practice one day.
Oh yeah,
because I was playing around too much. And we had a game against East Orange coming up, and I was just playing around. So he told me to get out. He yelled, "Get out of the gym, go home." And I left, and I got home early. So my mother was expecting me to be at practice, but I'm home early. So she's like, "What happened?" And I was like, blaming the coach and everything. She's like, "What did you do?" And I was like, "I didn't do anything." Like, "Yes, you did." She's like, "Go back and apologize, and whatever you did, just make it right, whatever." But this is 35, 36 years later, him throwing me out that day stuck with me, and sometimes it's time to play, it's time not to play, And we had a big game coming up, so it wasn't the time to play. So lessons like that. And Coach Hill, after every practice, almost had a story, and a lesson.
Yeah.
And what's funny is we had have an away game. We would take a van to the away game, and he would stop and ask us if we want juice. So everybody's like, yeah, let's get out, let's get juice. So everybody get out the van, and there's no store around. So we're looking like, where's the juice? And so he just starts. He walks when he walks fast, he walks like Johnny Walker. He's getting it. And so he's like, come on, we're going to the gym. And the gym may be a half a mile away. Like, we're not even on campus yet. But he doesn't want us to get in there and have, weak legs, stuff like that. So he wants blood flowing and things like that. So he tricked us a couple of times, and we would walk, and he would tell stories while we were walking, And it was a great year, man. It was good basketball, and growing up and learning under him, and actually after understanding who Cleo Hill Sr. was, it was made it more gratifying.
Two things on that. One, y'all walking. This ain't summertime.
No, we're grabbing our bags and we're walking to the gym. Like he didn't want us to get there and we're all lethargic and everything. He wanted us to get the blood flowing. We walking to the gym. And we get off maybe not a half a mile, maybe a quarter of a mile, and we just walk to the gym.
Yeah. And the second thing, as far as you didn't want to stay 2 years, or was just the perfect timing to leave after 1 year, as far as at the junior college level?
Yeah, perfect time. Yeah, I left. Yeah, perfect time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, I'm gonna throw you on the spot here, if that's okay, man. Just some random, not so random questions. I don't know if you got the AC in the car running or what have you. I'm mindful. You can say, all right, just a bunch of some random stuff here. So, when on the parkway, excuse me, when driving, you prefer the parkway or the turnpike?
Turnpike.
Turnpike.
Yeah.
Great Adventure Action Park.
Great Adventure.
White Castles or sandwiches?
Sandwiches. I live right by White Castle, so what sandwiches? Yeah.
What you get? I could take a guess, but I figure I ask.
Well, back then I was getting Italian cheeseburgers.
Okay.
But now I don't eat beef or pork, so I get a turkey and cheese and call it a day. I'll get a chef salad. You know, they have this chef salad. So.
Oh, the chef salads are mean. Yeah.
Or chicken cutlet.
Or chicken cutlet. The block, block party or the club?
Club.
Yeah.
Club, yeah. People from all over coming, to the clubs.
Yeah. Speaking of the club, peppermint or sensations?
I didn't hang out in sensations too much, so.
Okay.
But I was in peppermint almost every week, so I would say peppermint.
Peppermint was an event. It was an event.
Yeah. Wednesday, Thursday county night. That's when people got this start. Bill Bellamy and everybody. So peppermint Thursday, Friday, Saturday, every night there was something going on. Yeah. And then you can go in the back and get a sandwich. Or
I was about to say, and the food wasn't bad. Yeah.
Food wasn't bad. Yeah.
And that's crazy.
Club, restaurant. They had the kitchen. They had. It was nice. It was a nice time back then.
And for that to be in good old Orange.
Yeah, good old Orange. Yeah. The apartment buildings are there now, but yeah. Yeah, that was a good time.
Nikes or Adidas?
Nike.
Yeah. Back then, as far as it was the big Nikes, I'm assuming when you played, like with the Nikes on the back, I'm thinking I'm thinking that's when. And orange was always like the orange and black. That was always like that coordination there too.
Yeah, that's what drew me in, man. Orange and black.
Yeah.
Well, we got a lot of our sneakers from Harry James, ponies.
Mr. James, yeah.
So
ponies, yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Your laces all. I mean, pony. If pony, but if I had to buy them, it'd be a Nike. But yeah, I bought pony. I think I have pictures of ponies on.
Yeah, no, Mr. James, rest in peace. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Speaking of that, Orange Park or Central Playground?
Orange Park.
Yeah.
Orange Park. People are always there. You could drive in the parking lot and you could pick up a game anytime. Park was full, people walking through, watching games and everything. There was, summer league. Well, summer league is Central Park, Central Playground too, but Orange Park.
Now, speaking of summer league, did you play in the summer leagues?
Played in the summer leagues, yeah. Well, in the summer I played with
Atari. How was that?
Again, man, like the coaches who I've had in my life have been amazing, and Atari is definitely one of them. And he definitely teaches you basketball and life,
Yes.
So I played with Atari. We played youth games. Went to Massachusetts.
Oh, you played youth? You did youth games as well. Okay.
Yeah, I did youth games. Atari.
Can I ask who was on that team? Because I know those teams be like dream teams. Those youth.
Well, my that team wasn't a dream team. My AAU team was a dream team.
Now, who did you do AAU with?
I did it with Sandy, with the Roadrunners.
You ran with Sandy, okay. Yeah, Sandy, side note, I don't know if you knew this, he came from North Rams.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he came from the North Rams.
Yep. Okay. So we had, on that team, we had, I don't know if you remember Chris Gent.
Yeah, Sparta.
Yeah,
Sparta, lefty. Yeah, Ohio State, right?
Yeah, he's a coach now, still in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
He was our shooting guard. We had Franz Volsi,
Big boy for
Anthony
Hall, yeah.
Anthony Avent, Tom Cook, Marty Higgins, Corey Floyd, Mark Gray. Yeah, we were stacked. We were stacked. We were stacked.
How was that getting to travel with them, like, and just playing? Because obviously, y'all probably played Gauchos, Riverside, all those folks, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was fun. It was cramped though, because Sandy had he had a station wagon, and we had to go all the way to Sparta to get Chris, and then we get Avent and Franz, and it was we were all in the station wagon. Everybody just get it where we fit in. So it was a good time, man. Good basketball. But these guys they're giants, man. They're 6'10", 6'11". So my playing time wasn't that much, but yeah, it was fun competing and fun playing with those guys. Yeah.
Question: I know you talked about the whole being 6'3". I mean, did you during that time, as far as high school, even college, learn how to switch your game up as far as from stepping out a little bit versus the post?
That happened later in my 20s. That late 20s.
Yeah.
Because I never really wanted to understand the mechanics of shooting.
Okay.
Because I'm 6'3", but I like to get position, bang it down low, and lay it back up or get a rebound, put it back up. But after learning the mechanics of shooting, I stepped out a little bit, and that's probably where you find me now. Less wear and tear on the body. Step out and shoot. But but I had to learn the mechanics, and I just didn't, I guess, want to back then. I thought I could just shoot. But you just shoot, you make it. But there's actually some things you have to do to make that shot. So started doing the mechanics and got better. So that's really, if I played today, that's all I would do. Shoot, may grab a rebound or two, but that's about it.
Oh yeah. So you didn't succumb to the whole I'm an overhead, I'm just gonna set picks right now. You didn't succumb to that yet?
Nah. If I play, I'm going to play, man. I don't play that often. But if I play, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play a full game. I'm not gonna set picks and just be the fourth or fifth person. I'm gonna play. So
Speaking of hoops, basketball, football, or baseball, if you used to pick.
Well, baseball was my first love, but I may have to say football. Football, yeah. I played tight end and outside linebacker. So both of those positions I grew to love. So basketball, I always felt I was just a little too short to play the position that they put me in. So I was like a power forward / center at 6'3", 6'3.5". So football, I was a pretty good size for both positions I played in football. So I would say football. Yeah.
Now, no grands, no kids, no anything. As far as what do you like to do when you have some me time? What do you enjoy doing?
Maybe just go to the park, chill. Like, I don't want to do anything too strenuous. Just chill, relax. Travel, drive. I'll drive anywhere, so I hop in the car, take a road trip. Things like that. Probably driving. Just get in the car, taking the trip.
Yeah. Got a preference as far as the time of day you driving? If it's just one of those, as far as
if it's a long distance, I'll probably leave around midnight and drive to till the sun comes up or whatever. Drive into the sun.
It's peaceful. It's peaceful.
Peaceful, very. Yeah. But if it's local, anytime.
Okay.
But yeah, I like driving and think going to the park, chilling out, hanging with friends, stuff like that. Low key, low impact activities.
Best game you ever played in your life? If there's one that sticks out to you, like you could pick, you could say at each sport here, or you could just say one.
Basketball would probably be
in particular.
When I was at Montford State, we were playing King, and I was late to the bus, so the bus left. So this guy on campus saw me trying to get into the gym, but it was locked. He said, asked me if I played in the team and everything. I said, yeah, we had a little conversation. He said, I'll take you to the game, if you want me to, but first I have to go home and feed my family. We had to have dinner. So this is in Upper Montclair. So, you know, I went to this guy's house. We watched him eat dinner with his family and everything. Then he drove me out to Keene, where they had Herm Austin.
Yeah.
I think they had Eric George, those guys. They had a big guy. I forget his name, was a center. I think he passed. And I didn't start that game, but I got in like the second quarter. I got there when the game started. When the buzzer went off to go on the court, that's when I walked in. And so I didn't play the first quarter, but I played the second. I started the second quarter and everything. Played the rest of the game. I had about 32. Like everything was falling. A couple dunks. You know, so that was you know, a memorable game for me. Being that I was late, you know, I could have missed it and went home, but you know, got there and played what I could do. I think we lost, but that was, you know. And another one, played against Ramapo, was a good game. We won, and that's the first time in college that we actually watched film at that school after a game.
Wow.
And it was, you know, I guess because we won and they wanted to went out what we did right and didn't do so well. Football, I guess the first two games of my senior year were pretty good for me.
Okay.
And I had about 160 yards, I think, one game.
Just from the tight end position. Wow.
Tight end, yeah. That's this Catholic guy. I had about 160 and 170, with about 7 catches and a touchdown, and you know. So those first 3 games, I think, were the best that I had playing football. Yeah.
Wow. What about baseball?
Baseball, oh man, that's a distant. It was probably a little league game. You know, we played with OCC and played the Babe Ruth League. We went out to West Orange to play these guys at the high school. And I remember hitting a home run, and it was like they didn't have a gate, so it was like inside the park kind of home run. I couldn't get it, so that was probably the only one I ever had. So I think that game might have been.
Best team you ever been on?
Basketball?
We'll go basketball. We'll go basketball.
Basketball, I gotta say, my junior year, because we had both Cleo Jr. and Reg Miller. Okay. And also my point guard, Troy Jones. So that was probably the best team. But at Essex, we had a squad. With Will Antrim, a couple guys from New York and Connecticut, Rodney Files and Nasheed. So those guys, we competed, you know, and we did very well. But I was maybe my junior year, Reg, Cleo, Mike D was there, Troy, you know. So
how'd y'all do that year? You remember, like how?
Well, my junior year, we lost to ECT at the buzzer, and we didn't go to the playoffs because the guy was ineligible.
Eligible. Okay, got you. Yep.
So So those are probably the two. My freshman year at Montclair, our quarterback was Walter Briggs. I don't know if you know Walt, but he was in the All the Right Moves quarterback in that movie. He was a rifleman with Tom Cruise. So he was probably by far the best quarterback that I ever played with. Yeah. And that team was probably the best team I played with.
Even at this point in your life, is there a game that you would like to have back every now and then? It might just seep into your mind. Like,
oh, absolutely. I would like to have back my junior year, the Scott game at the buzzer. Rob James, rest in peace. That was my boy, but you know, he couldn't miss that game. East Storms, we played them at Orange, and they beat us. Small Gray tipped it in before the buzzer. You know? I think I was out of position. I could have tried to block it or something, but I was out of position. He tipped it in. Game over. Football, Essex County. What happened was, I don't know if you remember, Benson ran a sweep, I guess, and fumbled. And we thought the play was over. But Reggie Bruton, the quarterback, came and scooped it up, ran it for a touchdown. You know, and you know, that was game. So you know, we thought we watched the film, we looked like both knees on the ground. So
gotta ask about the hoops real quick with the whole dunking thing. Remember the first time you ever dunked?
It's probably my backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a hoop in my backyard, so in my
Cool.
backyard probably, or in the middle school. We used to dunk in the middle school. We used to,
Mhm.
I used to run off the wall and jump and dunk sometimes.
Yes.
That's how it started. But after that, it was in the middle school.
Mhm.
Yeah, middle school and in my backyard. So, yeah.
You
So I started dunking.
gotta you start in middle school. You gotta
Yeah.
remember. You got a body that you want to share that somebody you caught out as far as dunk poster here. Okay.
I do, but he know who he is. It happened. It happened in the summer league game. And our point guard, Boss, kind of
Mhm.
baited him like he was going
Okay.
for the layup, and he dished
Mhm.
it to me,
Yeah.
and I caught it. I don't want to name names, but he know who he is.
You said it was school?
Hmm?
You said the school or the team?
It was summer league. It was it was a men's league actually.
Got you. Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah, but it was in Columbian Park in East Orange.
Yeah. Speaking of, put you on the spot here as far as your all-time Arch High starting five basketball.
Ooh.
Position. You make it positionless if it has to be that way.
Well, for me, I pay homage to the guys that came before me.
Okay.
So I might not have, like Mike Boyd, who was great,
Mm-hmm.
Skip, those
Mm-hmm.
guys. I might not name because everybody that came before me, I pay homage to. So, and it might be guard heavy.
Okay.
So, Rob Cole,
Mm-hmm.
Greg Tynes,
Yeah.
Cleo Jr.,
Mm-hmm.
Reg.
Yeah. One
That's it.
more.
Maybe Freddie Rogers. Maybe need some height. Maybe Freddie Rogers. Man,
Okay.
I'll bring him in there. Yeah.
All right. I give you a 6-man.
6-man, I might take somebody from younger than me. I'll take Skip.
Take Skip.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's best part about being Michael Scott?
Best part of being Michael Scott, my humility, a little more humble than people think, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving, try to be as honest as I can, straightforward as I can. I have a passion for working with youth.
Mm-hmm.
Been working with youth 35 years straight.
Yeah.
I actually coached 2 years ago with East Orange, the East Orange campus. We won the championship.
Okay.
With my boy Ray Oliver.
Was Gabe was the coach then too, or you talking
No.
about the boys team or?
No, the football.
Football. My bad. Oh, Orange. Yeah. Coach Oliver. Yeah, y'all all Orange. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's my boy. Yeah, that's my boy. So 13-0, conference, sectional, state. Played a controversial.
I was gonna ask you about that play. Yeah, was that play the right call?
It's controversial, but I think it was the right call.
Okay.
The angle that the ref had, he was 3 feet away. He was,
Mm-hmm.
right in front of the play. And what people fail to realize that he was bobbing the ball before he crossed the plane, so the ball was out.
Mm-hmm.
And people see a picture of him with the ball kind of in his hand, but it was out. And he fumbled twice before that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was the right call. It was definitely the right call. Controversial, and what made it the right call is because they didn't. Well, they called touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
So it was inconclusive to overturn the call that was made.
Right.
So it was the right call. 13-0, great season, championship at Rutgers.
Mm-hmm.
But they used Big Ten equipment to review the high school play. I don't think that should have happened.
Yeah. No, I got you. Nah, I know. I reached out to Coach Oliver too, so hopefully I can get him. I mean, I know he said he would do it, but hopefully now that I got you, maybe that might be the carrot to get him. So hopefully I could get him more. That'd be cool. Because I know he stopped coaching because his son was playing, and I know he wanted to follow his son a little bit too.
Yeah. His son was played quarterback. Yeah, he was at Rutgers. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Coach Oliver was, best friend,
Okay.
position, so
Yeah.
growing up, I met him at maybe like 12 or 13 years old,
Okay.
and he's always been steady. Like he's always been that guy that's like, don't do that, don't do it. Well, and try to do the right thing. So, Coach Oliver definitely from a kid, instilled those things in me. Just being his peer
Yeah.
and seeing how he
Yeah.
moved and how his mind worked and things like that, and sometimes you have to, gravitate towards people that you emulate or you
Oh
respect,
yeah.
or, even at a young age. So I have a
Yeah.
lot of respect for him, his family, and yeah. So he's one person who was my peer that I actually learned from. 'Cause I like to give homage to those that came before me, man. But at him being a same grade, same age, and everything, he definitely, he taught me some things.
Yeah. You
So
are the company you keep,
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
sometimes you have to teach your friends how to treat you,
yes.
So
Yes.
and so he and I have a special, relationship. His cousin Lee and I, we have a special relationship. And those are like lifelong friends, man. You can't do anything about it. So,
Yeah.
but Ray, the person, you're not gonna find anybody else. You have to get him on, man. Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
talk to yourself, man.
I know. Not to have you be the plug. We'll get them. We'll get them.
Yeah,
We'll
I
get 'em.
get him for you. I'll call him after we get over here today.
Nah, that's peace, man. I know. I asked about best part about being you. What's the best part about being a father?
Best part about being a father, leaving a legacy, having someone that depends on you, looks up to you, having someone that I can be there for, despite anything, and just watching someone grow, from this little thing you hold in your hand to a 20-year-old who's on her own, doing her own things and things like that. That's the best part. Watching it grow, mature, things like that. So yeah.
I'll take that a step further now. About being a grandfather, best part.
Oh, well, I'm a month into it yesterday. So
Okay.
best part again, man. Just seeing life that came through the life you gave. It's rewarding, and it's oh man, it's just genuine. It's just genuine, and you do things genuinely for your daughter, kids and your grandkids and things like that, and it's just I want to fast forward it a little bit, so I can take them try for some teams and stuff like that, So, but I'm gonna wait, but it's just rewarding seeing them, someone gave birth that I made, it's just it's. And I was actually in the hospital when she was giving birth in the room and everything. So that was an amazing experience. So
yeah.
yeah.
Nah, I'm sure. Now I know. Book on your life. What would you call it?
I don't know. I think I'm the same way I've always been. I've just matured, and there are a lot of things I don't do anymore. But overall, I'm the same person. So it's I'll never change. There's a song by Jay-Z that I was talking about.
Never change. Yeah.
Never change. So maybe that'll be it. Some people misunderstand and say, quiet and this and that, but I'm really not. I'm very observant. And, I talk when I have interesting conversations to talk about it. Sometimes you can't shut me up. But a lot of people think I'm a quiet guy, but I'll never change. Probably be the title of the book. And that song probably go right along with it.
Be some of the footnotes, huh?
Yeah. So anybody out there, listen to that song, Jay-Z, I'll never change.
Yeah, never change. Yeah, off the blueprint. I remember. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep. Now, this Mike Scott, this point in your life here, what advice would you give that 17, 18-year-old Mike Scott?
Go to class. Go to class, take school serious. And I was always the biggest guy, one of the biggest guys. So I took practice seriously, but training I didn't take serious. I should have trained more aside from practice.
Okay.
And just, hit the books, go to school, go to class, do your homework, go home. I never got into trouble or anything like that. So just hit the books,
Yeah.
hit the books, train harder, because there's always going to be that person bigger than you. And I found that out in high school. You went to camp, you went to 5-star,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was a big camp in Greensboro called Prep Stars.
Mm-hmm.
And Prep Stars, all the big name coaches in the stands,
Yes.
And the guys there all 6'9", 6'10". So, but I would just do a lot of things differently, man. I just hit the books,
Mm-hmm.
prepare more. I saw some trees down there that 6, 8 point guards and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I would just train more and hit the books.
Mm-hmm. So. Well, what would your parents say about you?
That I'm a loyal guy that loves his family and friends,
Mm-hmm.
hard worker, and I'm dedicated to the things I love.
Yeah. Nah, I know. I just want to say thank you, and I know you just talked about what you would tell your younger self about hitting the books. I mean, obviously, you took that message to heart. Soon to be, I'll have to call you Dr. Scott eventually.
Yeah, hopefully.
I'm a few months away. I should, be calling Dr. Scott here, but that's inspiring. And I say that to even, like I shared to you, just being, a college professor and all that, and I contemplated, going back or what have you, but to just see someone just from my town, my city, just to go back and get their doctorate, like I said, it's just another reason for me to go back and get that. But outside of that, I mean, just again, like I told you, me being a little kid, just hearing these names such as yourself and everything else here, like I just never thought I'd get a chance to like sit down and talk with you or whoever else that I had on here. So, this is a total honor, Mike, and I really appreciate you stepping away for a minute just to share a little bit of your walk here. I thank you so much for this. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate the platform. I definitely, enjoy being a guest, today. And I'm gonna get Ray on here for you.
Okay.
Try to have him give some words of wisdom, because he's a barrel full of wisdom, man. Barrel full of wisdom and positivity, man. Just you gotta have him to see for yourself, man. He's an amazing person. Reg too, Cleo, all the guys I play with. Amazing, I like, my journey was my journey, and I'm happy, fulfilled, and so.
Nah, thank you, and I'm pretty sure if you're cool with it, I might circle back once I do get into somebody's doctoral program here and having a knock it. I know exactly what I want. I think I'm gonna go get an ED. I think I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Yeah, so I might have to circle back to be like, how'd you get through it?
Absolutely.
When that time comes.
Nice, man. A lot of sleepless nights. Your boys going out and everything. You have to go home to that paper. Prepare for that. Study for that test, and those discussions.
Yes.
They're really brutal. But those absolutely, man. Anytime. It's rough. It's rough, but it's rewarding once you do it, once it's done, and you're forced to dig deep in yourself.
Yes.
And dedicate yourself to something. And that was huge, huge for me, digging deep and having a 10-page paper due and not knowing what the first line is going to be. And then ended up doing 15 pages, and you have more that you want to put in. So, just getting started, just start typing, brainstorming, it'll come, brand on a lock, and everything will flow. And then when you come to it, you have more, information than you need. So once you start, doing your research and citing and giving authors their props and everything, and the scholarly writing, and it's all, all encompassing. So yeah, definitely. When you do it, I'll be all there. I'll be all ears.
Nah. Thank you, man. And I think just another Black man, as far as at the doctoral level. I mean, we need more of you. So I mean, if I can add to that list, man, I'm gonna give it a shot.
Absolutely.
thank you for this, Mike, man. And I definitely will be in touch, man. So I know you can get out the car. Like I said, I don't know if you don't have the AC on or not, because I know it's a little
Man,
humid out.
cool, man. I'm cool. I'm chilling. I'm good.
All right, cool. But I know you got that little one you gotta get back to too. So
Yeah.
thanks, Mike. And I'll be in touch one way or another here, man. Thank you.
All right. I appreciate it, man.
No doubt. Peace.
All right, thanks, man.
All right. This is great. I mean, the little kid in me here, just, people heard about just the exploits, everything else here, but just even the man Mike has become here and his journey, family, whether it's education, you name it. Thank you so much. Politics as well too. So with that even being said, look forward to the next one here. I'm just gonna step away. I put my hand over my heart. That means I feel you. Yeah.